You muted? Now the mute is off.
This is okay now.
So,
But I think we can do like, ano, ganyan. For the video. Maybe you will do that para hindi ka makita.
no one's watching, so it's pointless.
But they will watch that the next time. Yung after I post it, they will watch that actually. They will watch that. I will post that ha. Sure, ano, you will show your face there. Baka sabihin mo na naman later, oh, delete that, delete.
No, I just said a room platform. And guess what? You talk right now. So, that's what you said.
Ayan. Kape yung ganito na, delikad na.
Delikado imong boses.
Why?
Imong boss.
It's delikado.
Imong boses delikado. Cheers. 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 Kani. Because ako pwede mata sa cam, so don't cheers here, cheers here. Now it's in the cam. Make sense?
It's very lamig, guys. Very sarap. I want to see also my face, but I can see my face.
Wala importante. You're pangit as always.
Wow!
Ikaw ganda. So, I will order.
Yeah.
I will order. We will try the seafood sisig.
Why not? Let's try the food.
There are some calamares, but I'm not sure how
gambas. I don't know what gambas is. This place is big, no?
Oh, they have mess over
I think
there.
there's something else there in the back.
There's mess over there.
And here is cold because they use the plywood. That's
It's cool.
plywood. Yeah, it's like that cold.
Yeah, that's nipa.
Yeah.
Right, you call it nipa
But we call that plywood.
in Aklanon or in Tagalog?
Plano.
Aklanon, it's papod, pawod,
Plywood.
P
Plywood.
P-A-W-O-D,
Pawod.
pawod,
Yeah.
pawod, pawod, pawod.
Plywood.
Is it better to say pawod, like you saying, or pawod?
Plywood.
Pawod.
Yeah. Even their chair is made of bamboo. Their chair. Diba? It looks very nice. Except for this one, this is made of glass.
Oh. If one day you don't feel like seafood, you can get buffalo wings, you can get onion rings, but they also have like buttered mixed veggies, they have chop suey, they call it chop soy, but it's chop suey, I'm sure.
Yeah, chop
And they
suey.
have fried kangkong. Fried kangkong, that's how it's, maybe it's frito, like crispy or what?
Maybe the kangkong will never be crispy because it produces water.
You'd be surprised if people do with the menu, right? Like
Yeah,
they
maybe.
make fried basil.
Me too.
It's so hot, the oil, that they put the basil. As soon as they put the basil, they take it right out because it gets hard and crispy. And when you eat it, it's crispy in your mouth.
So
Maybe that's very nice. Sprinkle some salt on it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's very nice to try. We can try to make that. It shouldn't be that hard when we have the tool to,
Right.
not the tool to pick it up.
Yeah, we'll use all the the pulp.
Yeah, okay na.
So where's the guy now? I think he's so busy.
You said a few minutes to order?
Yeah. So that's their area. Their area is like not very big. But they have second floor I think because that's looks like lights. And maybe there's somebody who sleep here.
I bet you they're staying at Cape Paradise, the Korean tourists, right? Siguro.
Siguro. Because that's Korean.
Uh,
It's familiar and it's like if they hear for example the Korean, oh this is for Korean.
Hirap sa mata sa items.
Yeah, because they use only pencil, ball pen. For ordinary, maybe later.
I thought they make a copy.
Copy?
I thought they were copies, but maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe.
Maybe they handwrite it. But
That's the car of the owner. Kanami. It's called Kanami. So let's see if it's Kanami.
Kanami means that's nice.
Oo. The food is so sarap.
So if I'm eating like, ay, Kanami, sarap
Kanami.
naman yan. Like that?
Yeah. That's Kanami. Anak lana.
Oh,
Masarap.
Ilocano. It's
Yeah.
not Tagalog.
No, not
How do
Tagalog.
you say that's nice in Tagalog?
Masarap.
Oh, so it's like saying lami.
Oo.
Kalami?
Yeah. Kanami or kalami. That's ano.
Labi is very Bisaya,
Oo.
and lami is very Aklan.
Aklan.
Akano. It's very Akano.
Grabe
The wet time,
maybe we need to
grabe sa wet time.
kasi we'll just wait that for almost mga 15 to 20
That-
minutes.
I remember the last time I tell them, hey, let us look at the menu, give us a few minutes. They also take a long time.
Here? Or
No,
When?
not here. Maybe it was at Salmos or somewhere. The last time I told somebody to, hey, give us a few minutes to read the menu, they like took forever to use. Grabe.
Maybe we can raise hands.
Tiempo sa huwet. It's the wait time.
Wait time.
Yes. And alimango.
That's crab. That's
Butter.
masarap
It's
also.
fried in butter and garlic chili.
Uh,
It's also 100 gramos.
what's that? Ang shingram.
So, cada 100 gramos. They weigh it, right? And so they sell it by the 100 grams. So if you say, I want the mango, they say, how many grams would you like? You say, I want 500 grams. Then they charge you 150 for 100 grams. So you would pay 750 for 500 grams of alimango. But maybe that's a lot of, because it's almost 1 kilo. Sakto na. But yeah, we're ready. We
But
are ready.
if they Wi-Fi for example, mas always.
O kung wifi, mas maayon.
Yeah. Because this is
Because I
the,
can go live myself.
yeah, I think they are making something there like live or guitar. I don't know. I'm not sure that. But maybe
Maybe.
the space there inside.
Yeah, maybe. I think she's coming. She saw me looking at her. We'll see. Or maybe not. She saw me looking and she started moving, but she went the wrong direction.
No, it's
Or, let's say we sit and wait for a long time. And they're like, I guess we'll just pay for this and go because, we're so hungry that we just ordered already pick up at McDonald's. Joke lang. You can go Karen. You want to go Karen? Taking care of them very nicely.
maybe they want a video. Maybe
That's
they're thinking
Mac.
where?
That's Mac.
What's that for?
It's a laptop, but it's Apple laptop. Very nice. They're about 75K if you're lucky, but for the Philippines, most likely it's like 100K. Kapin.
Hindi niya ako napansin. Hindi niya ko nakita. I don't know where she's looking.
Yeah, well, she saw you looking at her. She saw you raise your hand. I saw that she saw you raise your hand.
Wala
So
ba?
we'll see.
She's like looking at us.
It's okay. Pasensya naman.
What's that?
Oh, the Gcash. We're good.
I know her. Yeah, she saw me na because the guy say like this, oh.
Mm. Hello po. Pwede order?
Yes, sir?
Pwede order saka on?
Order. The order.
Thank you po.
Yeah, maybe they didn't realize that we want to order now. Because we will have.
It is what it is. They're new. Pasensya naman. Okay po. Salamat. Seafood sisig. Available.
Sisig. Yan po.
Okay. And then,
Isa lang, sir.
isa lang. That's platter or just for one person? Is it for two people or is it for one person now?
Maybe it's for 2 persons, sir.
Okay, sakto na. And then, the liempo?
pork liam po.
Oo, isa lang.
Sir Dan.
And then platter of garlic
Garlic
fried
rice.
rice. And then maybe a bucket of ice, palihog, sa akong lamig sa akong beer.
Ah,
And I'm sure I will order more beer too.
sa pork liam po sir is ano sir 250 grams emaw sir. 2.5 times 160 sir. Per grams sir. Per grams.
Oh, yeah, yes, yes. I think 250 grams is okay. We're just gonna eat light anyway. So. But this is sick and kasi tambok ko. Medyo dieta. So, if we want more food, we can order some more food also, right? So, yeah, kung not enough, later I order more. But a question, I have cash. You also take Gcash, can I?
I don't think so sir. I'm gonna ask.
No worries, no worries. I have enough cash. I just want to double check.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you po.
I'm gonna repeat your ano sir order
Please.
sir. Seafood sisig,
Oo.
one pork yam po isa and garlic fried rice
Platter.
platter.
Sakto na.
Isa lang lang sir.
Yes, isa lang. Well, the platter, right? Platter.
Apo.
So should be more than enough for both. I
Is
hope
that all
right?
sir?
The the platter should be enough for both, right?
Maybe sir.
Okay. Because this is single, so that's one. Para isa persona, and then this is for platter. Okay, we'll try that. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you rin sir.
She isn't sure if it's good for her to or not.
Well, we'll see if it, there's always McDonald's.
Ah, that's the rice that is here. I think that's platter
see,
garlic rice.
that's the platter.
Yeah.
But that might be the seafood platter because they have a seafood platter, seafood fried rice or something. So, but we'll try the garlic rice.
Garlic rice.
She never wrote my bucket of ice. We'll see.
Yeah, she can remember. If she thinks like a lot of things, then she can't remember that.
Yeah. But you have the orders tablet, so you should put somewhere B ice, BI, bucket of ice.
Yeah, to make sure that she can remember anything.
Correct.
I wanna go to CR,
Dali na.
but I can't find her CR.
Just ask. And when you ask, remind them about the bucket of ice. change the order.
Sari-sari man. Ano, sir?
Sari sari
Ano po?
seafoods. Okay, we'll try the seafood fried rice instead. We'll upgrade, so cancel garlic fried rice.
Cancel na lang yung
Yes.
garlic fried
Yes.
rice.
And upgrade to the seafood. And then we have seafood sisig. We have the seafood fried rice. And,
Isa lang, sir, nga seafood fried rice.
kasi platter, right? Yes. I guess we'll try we'll try the special talaga. That's enough for 2 people. Okay, sakto na. Yeah, we'll try that. Thank you po. Salamat.
Welcome, sir. Timoting.
I know how to add driver.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Good. Did you also ask for the bucket of ice?
Yes.
Okay.
I asked for many times to ask also. Ma, follow up mo naman yung ice bucket. Sabi niya. And then, she said like, what? Ice bucket. What? Sabi niya. Ice bucket.
You had one viewer and then wala na.
But I got two.
Total.
And I tried to add moderator. At least I'm learning like even with that.
Combine the tables.
Maybe they are. Ayan. That looks nice, that area there. No?
Yeah, not bad.
Even in there, because they're just like, ano lang, solo. Oh, ayun na yung bucket of ice natin.
Yay. Thank you po. Salamat.
Salamat.
Not bad.
Give us luck. How many cubes you want?
Talo na.
You want this cube now, huh? Before you don't like this.
Yeah, but it really depends on the beer. And this is actually strong enough in taste that when it gets watered down a little bit, it's actually not that bad. And the benefit is that I drink it fast, so it's not getting very watered.
Yeah.
And so I get that cold that I want, right? That lamig.
Before what we did is like a lot of ice cube. Before. Like we make it full.
Oh.
Like that.
Oh.
And we're like tea. Then the next time tea. like your bath? It's not hot.
Wala.
You don't feel.
Ah, smile again. Let's picture.
I'll picture that. Can take pics.
Hey, you can take me.
I'm so ito. I'm so brown. You're white there, ha? Ang ganda ng lights mo. You're so gwapo. Daya ka naman. You always sit in the...
Where's the cam? Where's the cam? Where's the cam? There you go. I like teasing you. So very nice. Life is not the same if I cannot tease you.
Bakit?
Because life is not the same if I cannot tease you.
This is like... Do you like that though?
Yeah, but she wants it here. She's look at the flag.
Yeah, but this...
Oh,
Yeah, they don't like it. I think they...
the AC keeps pushing it.
Yeah. They're fun. They're fun. We're just criticizing these things.
Well, it's a young restaurant, so their relations with people, how they handle them, timing,
Yeah.
all that is getting worked out right now. They're learning the easy way and they're learning the hard way. The easy way is if they jump into some good habits right from the beginning, it goes well for them, people come back. They learn the hard way, people go Karen, they're like, hey, I'm waiting for 20 minutes before you even take my order.
Yeah.
Oh, you said to give you a few minutes. A few minutes. Konti lang.
Yeah.
Walay layos.
But if the
Walay
cook,
dugay, ano?
but if the cook is fast, if they get the cook that is, fast and, very sanay in cooking, then the time is split. Like you just wait like 15 to 20 minutes exact.
And that's another thing too. Like some restaurants really do a bad job at bringing food to the table,
Yeah.
right? Some of them like they're already bringing you the dessert. Like if I'm a restaurant, I would teach my tenderas to say, ask them when they want their hala hala. Ask them if they want hala hala when you're serving your dinner,
Yeah.
or if you want to serve the hala hala like right when you see them finishing their dessert. Because technically, you might not want to bring it when you bring out the crispy pork pata or whatever, right? You want to wait a little bit. So it's those things have to be in consideration, especially if you're a restaurant like this.
No one did. No one did that here. Like
It's,
they
well,
didn't do that here.
we went
Like the
yesterday
asking, ganyan.
to Rason by Glen, right?
Oo.
And they brought the hala hala right in the beginning.
Oo.
And so
They
it was
asked that.
fine.
She's not asking about.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So technically it wasn't a big deal because it's so icy and stays cold and everything. But sometimes dessert won't be. If it was ice cream, it would have melted by the time we started eating it. That's not cool. At least if you want to do things proper, right? If you're the porch
Yeah.
in Calibo, not so serious. But if you're the rooftop cafe, you know, at the G Plaza in Calibo, you want to get that right, right? That's where it matters. This place is kind of like G Plaza style, so you want to get those certain things right. And so, yeah, I mean, a young place always struggles with these simple things that other restaurants don't even think twice about.
I'm pretty sure that the owner of this is Atlanta because the
Kanami.
the plan the the title or the what you call this one
Oh,
is Kanami.
it's Kanami. Not Kanami. It's Kanami. Lamig. Kanami.
Kalami.
Kanami kayo.
Kanami.
Lamig kayo. Kami kayo. Okay kayo. You say kayo here or no?
Mayad. Kanami na mayad.
Namayad?
Kanami nga.
Oh.
NGA.
Nga mayad.
Yeah.
Oh, kanami nga mayad.
Instead of kaayo, mayad. It's like different ano lang.
Yeah, those are the things. That's where it differs from Bisaya. You know, B with a B, Bisaya. Because when you talk about Bisaya with a B, that's people that are like Cebu or Mindanao, right? They say, oh, Bisdak Dako, Bisayang Dako, right? And Akanon people seem to connect more with the Tagalog side of things.
Yeah.
But even though they're still Bisayas, it's still like Bisaya light.
What's that called? Lingwahe?
Linguaje, language. So, same things, right? They're like, hey, we want to get served.
And another thing, I think they need to have one waitress or waiter to stay like here in this area lang. Kasi that's what we did in Anoy
Even if you have one, you gotta roam. You gotta roam. You know what roam means?
What?
R-O-A-M.
Area.
You have to roam.
Yeah.
Like what?
To look around. Check.
Walk around, check
Yeah,
around.
to
You gotta
check.
roam.
If there's somebody
Yes,
asking
yes.
something, ganyan.
I'm 15 años and I'm working at a Chinese restaurant and it's just me. And the restaurant, you see this cuarto here? It's that size. But we had more tables.
You also work in the
Yeah,
restaurant
it's 15.
before?
Yeah, it's my first job ever in my entire life. It's 15 años. You're not even old enough to work legally. I think 15 you can.
Yeah.
But so this is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tables. We had in the middle a whole bunch of tables. You know how they connected all these tables together?
Yeah.
All the way to the end, and at the end they had a big round one. So if we ever had a big family, we put them in the big round one. And then for these tables, like this is two,
Yeah.
my tables were for four, and I had eight.
Eight.
So I had eight tables of four, and then I had one in the middle. So if whoever was too busy, we just start putting people in the middle tables. And if you had a big group, we put them in that big round one. Aside from that, they gotta wait. Those are my tables by myself. And I would, as soon as they come in, I host them. I say, hi, how many people? Four. I grab four menus, walk into the tables, put the four menus. If they sit down before I can get there, then I give them and so if they sat before I could pass out the menus, I would hand it to them. Otherwise, I would put a menu in front of each table, and then I would walk away. I would prepare the tea because you had these metal teapots. Put in 2 or 3 bags of tea, green tea. Pour the hot water in there. Fill it all the way to the top, and get the teacups were already there. They're just upside down. So then I drop the teacups and say, hey guys, would anybody like something to drink? So say some water. They have some water, Coke, wine, whatever it is they want. And then I'd walk away, or I'd say, if you guys are ready to order, if not, I'll come back in a few minutes. I said, come back in a few minutes, wait a few minutes, literally wait just a few minutes, you come back. Are you folks ready to order? Take the order, walk away, put the ticket for the restaurant, for the chefs.
You are also using the paper buffer.
It's all paper. This is no internet. There's not even emails back then.
Because it's very hard to get order if you just like memorizing like.
Oh no, you have to write it down.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like we are in Razor Glen yesterday, and she only memorizing the
Oh, that's
order.
not good.
Yeah.
Because you need a paper trail. How's the
Yeah,
owner
I
gonna know if
agree.
you're stealing from them or not? Right? So if it was pork fried rice, PFR, pork fried rice.
But I agree with that because there's something happened before in a restaurant that you always like forget the order if you don't have paper.
You have to write it down. It's silly not to write it down. Plus, it's a legal business. You have to have proof that you're making this much money. So when somebody's auditing your taxes, making sure you're paying all your taxes, well, in a day, look, these are all the tickets that we have in one day. This is all our orders. If you add these up, this is $5,000 worth of food. And we declared that this whole month, look, this is every day for 1 month. We said that we made $80,000 in 1 month. Here you go, it's $80,000 worth of orders. What's the problem? We're not stealing from you, we're not declaring less, making more money or whatever. So it's important to have that paper trail. Even back then, you kept that paper trail.
Oh, you keep that?
You can if you're smart. Why not? You
Yeah,
can
if
throw it
in
away.
case there is something wrong, no, you can show a proof.
But even here in the Philippines, you see that. Like when I buy those guapo shirts, they're writing it down,
Yeah.
right? And so the owner is seeing this, and he's going on camera and seeing it, double checking. Okay, like he doesn't look every day, but he's, maybe one day he sits through all the cameras. Okay, this is all the sales for the camera. This is the first one, this is the second one. 'Cause I'm sure they're told to put it in order and everything, right? Because only one person touches the money, the other person, they don't even touch it.
Yeah, it's strange to me. Like only one person can touch the money.
But I get it because the owner doesn't want to be there, and you've got to make sure that it's honest. So you have one person that you can trust, and who's that? The cajera.
Share.
You say cajera, right?
Yeah.
Cajera.
Cajera.
Because she's managing the
I think
cash
that's
box.
Spanish.
Cajera, yeah, it's Spanish. Cajera. Then you have the mesera.
What's mesera?
The mesa, the person that attends the mesa. That's the. You say mesajera?
Hindi.
Because there's cajera and tendera.
Tendera
The
only.
tendera is really the person that's tending to you,
Serving.
serving you. But at a restaurant, it's mesero or mesera, waiter, because he's serving the tables.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought maybe mesera is also a word. maybe it's not. Maybe it is in deep Bisaya. Maybe it's not here. Maybe it isn't in Tagalog. I don't know.
I didn't
We'll have to
hear
figure
that
that out.
here. Like, if you're in restaurant, I didn't hear misera. Only cajera.
But you know,
It's from
sometimes I
here.
get lucky with my words, right?
Yeah.
Like multa.
A multa. We
Multa
use
is a
that.
fine,
Multa. Oo.
right? So
We're also
that's
using that multa here.
very strange. So yeah,
Happy birthday.
yeah, very good, very good. Happy birthday. That's some drinks. They just leave. Grabe.
Yeah, they don't
Did
order
they pay?
anything. I think yeah, maybe one of them are
Maybe.
go to the
And so
cashier.
what's interesting is I can already see. I mean,
They only get the
they
ano.
have table names, right?
Yeah.
At this point, they're useless,
Oo.
right? What's the point of? You should just memorize the table names.
Yeah.
Memorize the table. When you combine them, that becomes table DS or whatever.
But I'm surprised too because they didn't order anything here.
And that's okay because they just came in to celebrate birthday, say hi birthday to the girl. They bought her a beer,
They just they just
and then they're
singing.
gone, and they're like, okay, let's go.
They don't even get
So, anyways, yeah, it's good.
yeah, they don't
So,
even get one order or something.
well, like on, they're going to the carinderia kasi mas mura.
Yeah. It's murmura.
Grabe, grabe. So it's okay because that makes our food faster. Right?
Maybe they pay here. They pay the food.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. So yeah, it's okay now. So that's how I used to run. I was 15 and I ran the whole place by myself. So
Where is that in California?
yeah, in Redwood City, California, it was 5 minutes walking from my house. And you know, I grew up poor. So what was really cool was at the end of the night, all the customers would close the doors. I clean up all the tables. I take all, you know, everything, make sure the tables reset for tomorrow. And then I start wiping on the table, wiping on the chairs. When that's done, I break out the vacuum. I start because they have carpet, so I start vacuuming the whole restaurant.
So even before there's a vacuum now. There's a
Oh
vacuum
yeah, yeah.
there.
Vacuum's been around since 1950s, 1960s. It's been
But
around for
here
a while.
we're using like ano lang,
You use lampaso.
lampaso or the tela or else yung
Silig.
silhig and then
Lampaso.
mop.
Oh yeah,
Mop.
but that, you can't use a mop on the carpet,
Oh,
right? This doesn't work.
yeah.
So then I vacuum. When that's done, by the time I'm vacuuming, sometimes I don't even finish vacuuming, and the cooks are already making the meal for the family. Because Millie was my boss, her husband was Raymond. He's also working in the back in the kitchen cooking, and then we have one or two other cooks, Chinese cooks.
They're the owner of the restaurant.
Millie and Raymond are the owners, and then it was me, the tendero, and mesero. But that's
Everything
right.
all around.
I even wash plates.
All around, yeah.
Yeah, I even wash the plates. You go in the back, you
But
take
we
out
hate
the
to wash
plate.
plates.
So it's very nice because you have this gun that squirts the water really fast, like really hard. So you can basically, you don't have to do this to the plates. You just go and it pushes all the food of the plates out, right? And once that's clean, you put it all on a tray and you open this machine. You push the plates in the tray, in this tray in the machine. You close it, you push the button, and then it washes them one last time with sabon, and it gets very hot, which disinfects the platos. Because you know, like here when you get cubiertos, they make sure they give you another thing of hot, super hot water to make sure that you kill the bacteria, right? That's how you know your cubiertos are at least disinfected. So we would do that, but instead of doing that, you do put it in that machine, same thing.
Yeah.
And then when the plates come out, take the plates out, you let it sit for a few minutes, but they're so hot that the water dries up really quick because it's so hot that they come out. So the heat of the same cubiertos dries them. Same with the plates. And then I would just take the plates, stack them where they have to get stacked, take the cubiertos, knives here, tenedor here, cuchara here. Easy job. It was a nice job. The only thing is I realized every single table would leave a tip. She would keep the tips.
Who?
My boss.
Ah, so you don't know that
I
before?
never got a single tip, and I promise you, if those customers knew that I wasn't getting my tips, they would either yell at her or make sure that I get the money myself,
Mm-hmm.
or never come back.
That's also happened in the what's that called?
In the
The
bakeries, Annie's Bakery, or the one with the lady
yeah,
there,
they keep
they
the
keeping the tips.
they keeping the tips. So
So
that's how.
I could have been a 15-year-old with real money in my pocket. Real money in my pocket. But some of those tips I saw were like $5, $6.
Yeah, big.
Right? 250, 300 pesos. And this is in 1989,
Yeah, and
right? Now I
the
would have
man
gotten
is
a
like
20
perfect
peso,
that time.
$20 tip. I would have gotten a $15 tip
Yeah,
today.
it's very big there.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Ooh. Like today, you can. It's very rare. It's rare to see that somebody will tip you 20
Usually the
pesos.
canals
You're
will do it.
lucky. You're lucky if you have 20
I,
pesos tip
I would have,
in the
I would,
table.
had
On the
I
table.
realized how much money I was losing, like I could have made a claim to them. But they were nice people. They still took care of me. But still, like, this is why they're taking care of me because they're taking my damn tips. That's dirty. That's really dirty. Now that I'm thinking more about it, I'm old enough to know that that was wrong. I'm kind of getting upset over it because I was a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, and you don't know everything. You don't know anything that time.
They could have taken care of me, and I would have had more money in my pocket than ever before.
Yeah.
The minimum I was getting paid $4.27 an hour.
That's very big.
No, that
$4
that's
at
200
100.
pesos, 240 pesos per hour. In the USA, it was minimum wage, right? Right now, the minimum wage in the USA is 7.50 per hour,
Oh, big. It's
right?
big, no?
Right? It's
So
ridiculous.
in case you're
Well,
like
even
working
in the
as
USA,
waiter.
it's big here, but it's not big in the USA. You're barely paying your rent. You're barely getting by.
Yeah, here if you're, for example, if you're working, they will get you, or the manager, the owner will get you for your
And
restaurant and everything, for
I
food
almost
as
want to
well.
say it was $3.75 an hour. Something tells me it was very low. And I never checked my hours. I never checked to make sure that she was paying me for every hour that I was there working and these things, right?
Uh-oh.
She could have been cheating me those hours too. She was willing to take my
Time.
tips,
Tips.
so she's maybe not paying me full time.
Uh-oh.
All I know is every 2 weeks I'm getting like $200 an hour paycheck. 10K.
That's
15 years old.
big.
Big here.
Yeah, big here. But
Big
it's very
here.
small there.
And back then, if I'm 15 years old and you know a 15-year-old is making 10K every 2 weeks, you're like, wow, I want to go to USA and work,
Uh-oh.
right? But it's nothing.
But
It's nothing.
but in US it's very small.
It was tiny.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. And I work 5 days a week. Sometimes I work Saturdays and Sundays all day. Um, I would work. I would be there at 3:30, right after school, and no customers. So she would already be working on the pot stickers. She already has the meat already done, and she has the wrappers, and she's got the little thing of water, and just wrapper, spoon.
But that's
I,
when you learn how
I've
to
made
cook.
hundreds of pot stickers and thousands of pot stickers in my life.
But that's when you learn how to cook.
That's when I learned how to make pot stickers. Right? I was making the egg rolls, which is the spring rolls, like the Chinese lumpias. I was making those.
But they're buying the wrapper.
They would buy the wrappers, yes. They would buy the wrappers. Yes, for sure.
Just like here, you need to buy, or you can make that.
Yeah, you see the package that we bought before? Same package. So yeah. Yeah, that's how life was.
But they can make that too. Like they can make that on their own.
You can make it on your own, but it's so much easier
Buy.
to buy it.
Takes time
So
pa
much
you
easier.
make.
I just realized that the two ladies behind you, they were there before us. And they just got their plate of rice. They just got their food. So it's probably gonna take a while for their food.
Yeah.
I bet you it's coming now. like any minute now because they got their food, so they're done, so that's us.
Maybe. But I hear they're cooking, frying something. It's hirap din pala, no?
What do you mean?
Like you need to work. You need to work there, and the expenses is like higher.
It's a one-bedroom apartment here, five
How
five.
much is equivalent
Here,
there?
5.5.
Yeah. How much
If
is
you want to pay a little bit nicer, 7. Right?
10, and then
10 if you're maximum, but that's super nice here, Calibo. In America, it's 150K PHP for a one-bedroom studio. It's not even like the full one-bedroom, like the sala and in the room. You're talking,
nothing's bedroom.
you're,
You have
it's a
bedroom.
studio. Studio. So, yeah, yeah. It's like ours would cost more than that. Okay? The Pastrana Park house, 4K. Sorry, not 4K. 200K
200K.
PHP.
Oh, big. And I saw one vlogger, yung girl ba, that I show you. Diba she show, the house, and it's not, looks like, super pretty or something like that. It's like, ano lang, ordinary, and it cost, how much yun? 50? I forgot how much that.
50K, 70K. Yeah, it's not that. It's you gotta have a good job that's paying you. You gotta have a roommate or two roommates in one of those rooms. It's really tight. People are living really tight. You get 3 roommates for a studio, you got it. 4K, each one pays 1.3, right? So it's like 60K. You got it because your job is probably paying you 4K per month, 5K per month.
The thing pala is very hard, even you're like, graduate lang. Even, what is your student earlier? It's a law graduate?
Yeah.
No, grabe.
See, her advantage is she's living with her amo
Oo.
because she's a nanny
Oo.
and she has a daughter. So for sure, they hired her. They brought her in. They said, okay, you can be here with your daughter too. Send her to school, do all these things, just be there for her
That's a
daughter.
nice thing.
She has a good deal because they're also paying her good salary. They have to, right? They're probably paying her 15 to 17 an hour, maybe 20 an hour if she's lucky.
That's dollars ba? So how
Dollars.
much? How much?
1K per hour.
Uy, grabe.
And that's not good in America because you're making 4K, you're making 4,000, which is 200K per month. But if she was living on her own, she'd be paying 2.5, 3. She'd be paying 100K or 150K per month for her rent. Now she doesn't have enough to even feed her daughter and buy clothes and go out to McDonald's and do all these extra things. It's hard out there, right? If she becomes a lawyer, even lawyers that are just starting out, they're not making a lot of money. You got to get into a firm. You got to get money. You got to start winning cases. You got to start producing, and then you start making $100,000 a year, which is 5 million PHP per year, something like that. Yeah, it can be tough.
But I'm pretty sure she is, single mom.
She for sure she's a single mom. Nobody would leave like that and take your kid with you. Where's the papa?
Yeah.
Guarantee you, it's not my business to ask. I'll wait for her to volunteer that. That's my business.
You can set the messages like
Ahead, enjoy your night.
Moderator.
Hello. Hey, kumusta ka sa lahat? Oh, you got some messages?
Moderator, make that moderator.
Check it out.
I'll check it.
Yeah, people are listening to our chat.
Yeah.
So the secret is yes, you can go to outside the country and get good jobs. The secret is to get your education, make sure it's solid in the Philippines, get yourself a good job, and then save money, make a business, get that business going, save money again, double up on your businesses.
I think I can sit there on the other side. 2 days or so something new. There was something new.
Um, but the secret is to, I'm convinced because I've experienced both countries now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about being rich. If you're going to be rich, you got to get lucky in both places. Doesn't matter. You're not going to get rich in America either, right? But for example, the secret, if you want to go to, let's say, USA or Canada, somewhere like that, just become a nurse, get to America, work as a nurse, you'll be fine. You'll be better than fine. You'll have a 5 million peso salary,
Grabe, that's for
right?
1 month lang.
You'll make a 5 million peso eventually. You might not start that way, but you get to that level. You can even make more if you become a head nurse. If you get your master's in nursing, now you can be the chief nurse, the one in charge of the schedules, all the other nurses, all that kind of stuff. You can be really good. Other than that, IT. Get your butt into IT, start learning how to program, start learning how to do
Base
these things.
IT. Yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of IT, DevOps, coding, PHP, HTML,
My brother
Kubernetes.
wants that sana, BSIT.
Well,
But she falls to engineer to electrical something like that.
that's great. If your brother wants to do that, that's great. But he's got to be on that path now, because you can be in IT without finishing college. That's the secret about IT. So you don't have to have a college degree to be a coder. You just have to know how to code.
Yeah.
And when you get to a job interview, you say, "This is what I've done before. These are the projects,"
Oo.
and they'll give you a test, and you code something for them, and they know if you can code or not. It's like, I'm a mechanic. Can you be a mechanic?
Mhm.
So, and then you can make 100. That's you can make 7 million PHP. Kapen.
Here,
What's that?
you can make your moderator.
Yeah, you can if you want.
But I make all of the
Yeah,
this
good.
one.
So, yeah, so if there's still the American dream for Filipinos, but if you have no skills and you get to America somehow, maybe you have an auntie that brings you over, you'll be a caretaker, you'll make maybe $2,000, $3,000 a month. We're gonna move out. When you move out, what's gonna happen? You can't afford anything. You gotta stay as a caretaker for a long time. You're gonna meet somebody, you're gonna move up, I don't know. Right, good luck. I can find people jobs in Los Angeles as caretakers. They're always in that one group, the Pinoy group, right? They're always in that group. People are hiring and stuff. I see those jobs all the time. But it's a job that you'll get stuck. You won't progress.
Yeah.
If you get that job, you better hope that the amos can take you to another place and let you, let's say, go to night school so you can become a nurse or something. Then when you become a nurse, you're great, right? So
You're lucky if you're almost like that.
yeah, and a lot of amos are really cool like that. They'll let you do that kind of stuff, and there's no reason because they're not supposed to keep you working 24 hours like a working student here in the Philippines.
Oh.
I've seen working students work like slaves before, and I knew it was wrong.
Oo.
Like that barangay captain I told you about in Mindanao. She had 2 working students, and I swear to God, it was Cinderella. Right? These kids were 12, 10, 10-year-old kid. And this old lady was yelling at them to do this, to do that. It was
Yeah.
just weird, right? And then,
I feel very low with something like that na nangyayari because
they told me it was normal. You have to experience it. It's not your place. But at the same time, it's child labor. We have international laws against child labor. Period. You're not supposed to work kids like that. And all because you're gonna pay for their cuadernos and stuff. Come on. You're not paying that much.
yeah.
For what you're getting, it's not equivalent. It's free labor.
And they are just a kid
Yeah,
pa lang.
correct.
So
Correct. And none of them that I saw, their faces, none of them
oo.
seemed happy. because they're kids.
Yeah, your kids.
They're kids.
You want to play around, to do something like you want
They want to be
ba?
teenagers and stuff
Oo.
and all that stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's not good. So yeah, if you want to go to America, you want to move out, have your educational plan in America also planned out. Whether it's going to be a nurse, whether it's going to be a job, even if you're going to be a musician in America,
Yeah, but
have
in
it planned
the
out.
music. But if you're lucky, if you have like an online, no?
Be an online teacher and
Yeah.
travel anywhere in the world, teach anywhere in the world,
Yeah, that's more nice.
and have
That's
some more
better.
freedom. You're not going to be rich, but you can have more freedom.
Oo.
Freedom is money,
Yeah.
right? I
You
had
can enjoy a lot of things, ganon, try new things.
I had my dream job
What's your
before
dream job?
when I was working
Helicopter?
at no when I was working at THX at Lucasfilm. When I was working, I was designing, certifying, testing, recording studios and movie theaters all over the world. But I was gone 3 weeks out of the month. I would be home working from the office. I'd have to drive to the office 2 hours one way. If it rained, it would take me 3 hours just to get to work. I would get home late. I was miserable. I had no social life. I had nothing. I had a whole house to myself. I was paying for my whole house.
That's very big then.
Yeah, I had a 3 bedroom house all to myself. Big backyard, big front yard. I had 3 beautiful dogs that I was raising.
Then you
They were
don't.
my babies. Didn't get to enjoy my dogs for almost 2 years. Right? It's not like they forgot me, but I had
But how you
roommates.
sleep? You will sleep in the another room. You will sleep in the next
In
night
America,
in
in
another
America,
room.
it's different. I used to sleep with my dogs. My dogs would sleep with me. Right? I had Dalmatians, so they're really cool dogs. And other dogs, like, I mean, if you're thinking about the dogs in America, I mean, in the Philippines, they're street dogs. They're all dirty, right? It's not cool. But my dogs were Dalmatians. They're white, and they would be white, and they would look clean and everything, right? And it sounds weird to sleep with your dogs, but in the wintertime, it's cold. And I would have one dog on my back, one dog in the front with my arms around it, and I have one dog like in my legs. And I slept like a king. It was so warm. And my dogs love me. I miss those dogs.
Where are they?
They've all passed away. I had these dogs. Isabel was my first Dalmatian. I found her like at Unitop. There was somebody, like a family, selling their dogs. Like they had 7 Dalmatians, selling them in the front of a Unitop. They're like, okay, $100. I give her $100,
And you buy that?
and I bought the dog. And you're not supposed to buy these dogs like this. It's not. It's very low. And then I found an ad in the paper. Somebody was giving their Dalmatian away. It was a beautiful looking male Dalmatian. His name was Zach. And he looked like a pit bull. His body was built. He was gorgeous. And I was like, oh my God. When I met him, he was the friendliest dog ever. And I took him. I took him home. And then Isabel and Zach, for some reason, they got along. Like, really got along. Like, best friends. So then after that, they did the boom boom, the so Isabel ended up pregnant. I had to take her to my house in San Francisco because I was going to college at the time. I took her up to San Francisco, and she had her puppies there.
How long you stayed with that with your dog before?
Isabel died at 16 years old.
Really?
And she was less than a year old when I bought her, like just at a year old. So that's it. And then Zach was about a year and a half when I got him. He died at 15 years old. He was the first dog to die. And they had puppies. I had 11 puppies. I sold most of them. I gave a few away. And the one that nobody wanted, I kept. Her name was Yodi. She was like goofy and sloppy. The, the, the most loving dog I've ever had in my entire life. I called her Yodi because Yoda is like a Star Wars character,
Oo.
and Luke Skywalker would carry Yoda in his backpack.
Mhm.
And I used to carry Yodi around in her back with her little head sticking out like Yoda. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, you're Yodi. So she would sleep on my head at night, like here on the pillow.
That's nice,
And
huh?
so it was really cool. And she was like my real daughter ever because I this big,
Mhm.
right? So I had this dog this big, and she was the last one to die. So she died at 17 years old. So she outlived her mom. And these dogs don't live past 12, 13 years. So they did pretty good by dying at the age that they did.
Yeah.
They did really good. And so
Ay.
I haven't had a dog since.
Oh, I'm ano now.
No, got no